Hello, everyone. Welcome to the MovieJar podcast, a podcast where we talk about movies, talk shit about each other's opinions, and give our favorite characters a cookie for their time. My name is Kaya, and this is my movie today, so we'll see how that goes.
Hi,
Alex,
my name's
go.
Al. Hi, my name's Alex, and I am I'm a director. No, my name's Alex, and I am a animation guy. So who used to watch My Hero? I'm a former My Hero Academia fan. I'm about 7 years sober. Um,
What was the fucking
What
cowbell in the
was that
background there? What the
ding?
fuck?
Someone
you'll
get hit
never
on the head
know.
with a bat?
The Ding of Lies. Alex still watches My Hero Academia to this day.
This movie is
No,
perfect.
Darkest sin.
no, I'm 7 years sober.
I am not 7 years
Breaking
sober.
that
I am
streak.
like impatiently waiting for the next season. Chris, go.
Hi. I didn't watch My Hero Academia as a child. I'm better.
I like how we're dressing as like an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting.
Cameron, go.
Uh, I took a long look at myself in the mirror before I watched this movie, and I acknowledged that it was a problem, and my addiction to rabbit women can never be satiated. Anyways,
Cameron,
hi.
you are the worst out of all of us because you read the manga.
Yeah, I finished it.
You
I was
finished the
there
manga.
I was there when the final chapter released, and
Don't cite the deep magic to me, witch, for I was there when it was written.
I was
I also-
sorely
I-
disappointed. Deku became a fucking just nobody again.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know, man. I
this
think-
may contain spoilers for the entirety of My Hero, so...
I don't know,
I-
man.
Oh wow, spoilers for a bad anime. Oh my god.
Hey, it's not actually that bad.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Season 5 was kinda shit, but everything else is pretty decent.
Hold
that
on,
was
hold on,
still
hold on, hold on,
boring.
hold on. 1, you haven't watched it, Chris. 2, it's the start of the episode. Let's not spoil things. we haven't
Where's our Vine booms when we need them?
even talked about the movie. Before we talk about the TV show, let's talk about the movie.
So,
Alright.
the movie
Yeah,
was
one, yeah.
specifically World Heroes Mission. I believe it was the third one. Originally, it was
Yeah.
gonna be the second one, whatever the fuck that one was called. But then I was like, you know what? That one's kind of shit. Let's actually watch like the decent one. So,
That's fair. That's a fair thing to say.
Alex, are you now happy that I changed it?
Oh, so starting with
given
me.
your
Okay.
letterbox review?
Okay, look. I guess since we're starting with me, I am happy that we changed it, but not necessarily just because of the quality of the film, but because I made the mistake of sleeping until 10, fucking over my sleep schedule, and then also watching Black Klansman as one of the first thing I did that mood. But
What a primer!
yeah, no, I watched Black Clans. I woke up, I sat down on the couch, and I watched a movie that makes me feel doomer about the world.
Bro,
Did you
your
have a-
letterbox like recents log is insane.
Did you look in the mirror,
You should-
realize you're
hang
white,
on.
and like I have to fix this?
Cameron, do you want me to send you the absolute Marxist
Oh,
Duma
I've read it.
essay? You follow my letterboxed?
Yes.
Oh, you fucking don't. I have 5 followers and you're not one of them.
I go
I
and
know them
read.
personally. I've
No,
been to their
okay, I'm
houses
sorry
and
that I don't
met
have a
them.
Cameron,
Letterboxd
I don't
account,
even
but I go
follow
and
Alex
read
on
them.
Letterbox.
I go and read them after we finish recording.
You read my letterboxed after we're done
Yes!
recording?
Well, yeah, we can't
Why?
spoil ourselves for your opinion.
Because usually you don't articulate your opinion well enough, so reading it is actually better.
Whoa.
Oh, no, no,
Okay.
no.
Okay, no, that's just wrong. My letterbox usually actually has worse, have me not articulating my opinions. What? I'm not even talking about the movie. Look, my
Okay, no,
review-
hang on. I should correct
No,
something
no,
about
no,
that statement.
No. Shut up. My review for Flow on Letterboxd was "I'm the dog."
Yeah, I'm aware.
My review for Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs was this film was just an excuse for Sony to use their brand new simulation software, then fuck around with spaghetti tornadoes.
You're not wrong.
like sometimes I post an essay, but it's like it's not like it's not like I do that very quickly. Like my bike riders one was just what the fuck is Michael Shannon doing here? Long legs was just Long legs was just Bill Clinton with a question mark. Because it startled me. The scariest thing in Long Legs was the Bill Clinton jump scare. Okay, sorry. We've gone really off topic. Since you brought up the fact that you read my fucking letter, I'm on it. But, like, I just don't get it.
I respect your opinion. That's why.
Respect the Bill Clinton note.
Yeah, because it's funny as shit.
Okay, look. Either way, uh, editing Kaya does not need to do this, but I put up like a giant thing on my letterboxd where I basically talked about how Black Klansman made me feel sort of like it made me feel empty a little bit. It made me feel like the world, for the most part, was like was a repeating cycle of violence and yada yada yada. Empire must die. Yada yada yada. So I spent most of that day actually being quite sad. I spent most of the day being kind of like in a state of defeatedness. I've also been struggling with my own insecurities as a director and my own sort of like struggling as to where I'm going in the future. So really, note to self: watch like a comedy if I'm gonna wake up in the morning and watch a movie. Um, but then after spending a little bit of time with Jaden, who is my beloved and who makes me feel better all the time, um, I I watched this by myself, and I actually quite enjoyed it. I thought it was I'm going to say something very controversial here. Um, I I actually think that when it comes to superheroes, My Hero Academia has some of the best designs, even compared to Marvel and DC. Um, Particularly also when it comes not just simply like power designs, but I mean like costume designs. As someone who is a big fan of the superhero genre, because it makes up a lot of comic books, sometimes superhero outfits can just be a little bit too one note or a little bit too complicated, or they can just be spandex, and it gets a bit tired after a while. I think that Marvel and DC have a few good costumes, but the rest of them, it's downhill from there. But My Hero Academia consistently has used what I like to call successful gimmick costumes, where because of the admittedly quite well written nature of the quirks that I've always admired, it means that a lot of the costumes are based around a central gimmick, and then that means that they can go hog wild with said gimmick. I mean, the main thing I'd point to is Froppy, because Froppy has a pretty good costume design. Like her whole shtick is she's a frog, and the costume invokes frog imagery,
Frog
and in a
vibes.
way that in a way that isn't like just simply putting her in a big frog costume, and it's detailed enough that it has like some good visual difference, so that way when you look at it you're not just looking at the same color over and over again, but it's not so detailed that there are lines everywhere. It's a clean design and I like it. I'd also say someone like Bakugo, his design is based around the gimmick but also sort of reflects a lot of his personality. Hawks is another brilliant design.
Kind of.
Hawks, my
The
beloved.
Who's the fat guy
No.
again? The big
Fat
round
Gum.
super. Yeah, Fat Gum.
I
Love
love
his
Fat
design.
Gum.
Fat Gum's design is actually probably perfect. So honestly, it was kind of refreshing to go back to something that an anime that I used to really love in my youth, and still see that I could still respect the costume designs for all these superheroes. Because as a superhero fan, that's like a decent quarter of the enjoyment you get out of watching a superhero thing. It's the costume design. It's like why people watch Power Rangers. It's because they look cool. Also, the villains have like one thing that's notable for superhero fiction is sometimes it's either the superheroes have drip and the villains don't, or it's the opposite. And in this case, they're equal. The villains have drip. Um, but as I watched this, I kind of realized as the film was going along that um I actually was enjoying it quite a bit, and I ended up writing an essay that was as long, if not longer. I don't know. Cameron can fucking correct me on that since you read my letterbox. Uh,
I do
on
have a top 3 favorite letterbox reviews from you, by the way.
oh my fucking god, Jesus.
Okay, Alex,
You've
I read your
reviewed the
letterbox
reviews
review.
reviews. My god.
My letterbox review where I basically said something that I think this movie does well. I'll discuss my complaints, and my complaints are nitpicky. I'll discuss that later because I think my complaints border more on like pointing out funny little things. Um, but I really did like how this film does something that has sort of been lost in a lot of modern day Marvel films, and to the extent a lot of modern day DC films, to the point where I think the Batman was a subtle commentary, either directly or indirectly, on it, which is that in this film, the superheroes are actually trying to save people. You'll notice in a lot of previous Marvel films, the stakes of, like, what a superhero is meant to do, which is save people and defeat supervillains, have um have instead become, let's just beat up the villains and protect the status quo. Captain America Brave New World wasn't about Captain America protecting people against, um, General
The
Ross.
new world.
President.
Yeah, New World. It was about Captain America preserving American interests in a new, like, God Island, and then President Ross just so happened to be like a Red Hulk. Um, Endgame isn't necessarily about saving people. To them, it's more about getting back who they lost, which is fine. But I feel as if the ending to Endgame was way more on, like, the heroes coming back themselves. But that's a nitpicky thing. Another thing you could probably say is how Spider-Man, someone whose whole shtick is saving people, most of his films haven't been about saving people. It's about being stopping Mysterio. It's about being saving Mary Jane, but it hasn't been saving people. You know, just the everyday person that technically they shouldn't care about, yet they do because they're superheroes and that's their shtick.
Is that like just the MCU films, or is that like all Spider-Man films?
Not all
The,
Spider-Man films. In, like, Sam Raimi's films, hell, even Andrew Garfield's films. Like, Andrew Garfield's films, first film was, I gotta save the. I laughed. I
save,
laughed.
save New York from being turned into lizards.
I actually laughed because when I first saw the villains in this film, like, shoot a gas and then one of the people turns into a turtle, I was like, oh no, it's the lizard.
He's back.
I thought they were
mental
all gonna,
flashbanging of the lizard.
I
Akira!
thought all of them were gonna turn into turtles. I was so. But, like, also, I won't just shit on Marvel here. I will shit a bit on DC. Like, Zack Snyder's films are not about saving people. Like,
Okay.
they're not. Like, for the most part, they're not. Superman doesn't save anybody besides in a montage. Um, Fucking, I guess you could say that when a superhero stops world-ending stakes, they're technically saving the world. But that's like saying that stakes in, like, a movie or a show are upheld the same amount if the character is, saving the world. Because, frankly, it's not enough to simply save the world, because we as humans cannot comprehend the world ending. We simply can't. We can imagine it, but we can't comprehend it. It's a rule in writing where if the world's ending, you have to add some additional personal stakes onto that to get the audience invested. Because simply we've had too many stories where the world ends. We're numb to it. And I think that modern day DC films have really failed in that department. But in this movie, the whole crux of it is the human angle of we have to save people in these cities. It The whole thing revolves around it. Deku's arc with Rhodey. The whole thing there is I want to save this one little thief guy from going down a path of criminal behavior, so I'm gonna stick my neck out for him and make sure that he gets where he wants to be. At every single moment, the superheroes aren't just fighting villains. They don't fight the villains till, like, the end. They're doing their every passing moment to make sure that civilians are getting out of harm's way, that people are able to evacuate, and that they can find the bombs before anything gets worse. And I don't know, I just think that's neat. I just think that's a proper way of handling superheroes. Like, I think I agree with Alan Moore that sometimes superheroes can be a bit fascistic, where it comes to, like, if you're focusing too much on the strongman angle of the protector of order and the status quo, then yeah, Birth of a Nation was the first vigilante superhero film. Alan Moore's own quote. Um, but I don't know. I think that My Hero Academia surprisingly actually had a very good take on superheroes, that they simply exist to save others from things that they wouldn't be saved from. And fuck it, dude, I'm saying it, My Hero Academia ain't that bad. I realized after I watched the movie that I'd only gone on the My Hero Academia hate train because I was insecure about liking it when I was a kid. And I don't know, I don't think it's that bad. I think it's got stuff that you can easily shit on it for. Like some of the designs for the women are a little
Season
bit like
5.
I think you like some of the designs for the women are a little bit like, whoa, she's 16.
Yeah,
And
Looking
that's
at you, Yaoyorozu.
I also think that like Endeavor's like redemption arc
Don't
wasn't
get me
handled
started on
well.
Endeavor.
But I think that also the fact that one of the best adaptations of Superman is All Might. Um, I'm just saying it.
fucking love All Might. He's
All
the reason
Might.
that I ever cared about My Hero.
All Might.
Wait,
Like I think
how old was Deku when he started training Deku?
About
like
16.
15,
no
16. He
15
is
around.
in year 10, I believe. High school
I
in
feel
Japan starts at our year 10 level, so like 15, 6. I turned 15 in year 10.
it's a bit young to be training for hero work, but I don't know.
Yeah, they did internships at 17.
Yeah, I still think that's fucked up.
No, they're still in
Yeah,
their.
well, welcome to the military-industrial complex,
They're still
Christopher.
in the
Yeah, I still
first
think it's
year.
fucked up.
The entirety of My Hero takes place during first year.
Also, My Hero is heavily
So, like,
inspired by Western. My Hero is heavily inspired by like Western cartoons and Western comic books, particularly considering the creator was a big fan of Star Wars. He loved Western media. I can't remember the actual creator's name, but that's on me. But for the
Hideyoshi?
most Yeah, him. But I would say that also a lot of the inspiration for having a lot of younger superheroes probably comes from the popularity of characters like Spider-Man, the 80s popularity of the Teen Titans, and sometimes a trend for some of the most popular superheroes to be younger people who are going into the superhero role. And so I think that whilst technically, yeah, it's a bit fucked up, My Hero Academia is essentially an exploration of superhero tropes through a world that is catered to be revolved around superheroes. It asks
Also.
the que- it
Oh,
asks the
sorry.
question like it asks the question like a lot of superhero worlds sort of exist with superheroes in the world. This is what if the world had superheroes and then evolved to have the whole society orbit around superheroes. So like superpowers become part of doing daily jobs, you have
When you have a nobility class, essentially.
yeah, you have a nobility class when it comes to certain superheroes. You have superhero organizations. You have superhero fashion brands. You have ranking system for superheroes. Honestly, the world building for My Hero Academia actually ain't that bad.
Also, like, in,
I
like, them being young, from specifically, like, a Japanese media lens, shonen is, like, especially, like, My Hero, in terms of like the whole superhero thing, it's sort of like the targeted to boys sort of thing of like magical girls. Sailor Moon, fucking Cardcaptor Sakura. They're like, okay, Cardcaptor Sakura is like 10, but like Sailor Moon, they're teenagers. Like, and that was one of the most influential pieces of media to come out of Japan in the past 30 years.
And that shit was my jam when I was like 9 years old.
Sailor Moon
I
went
will
hard.
I will concede that point, but I still think that the idea of creating like a class of people that are just like kind of better and cool and have weird powers and shit just inevitably pushes people towards like what is it? A supremacy, hero supremacy and shit. I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet
No,
necessarily.
it does happen. It's aggressive
It does
show.
happen.
Chris, you
It does
haven't
ha-
watched My Hero. It actively happens.
Yeah, Deku's whole shtick is that he didn't have powers and he was actively discriminated against it until All Might, gave him
Give him
the
his
Gave him
hair.
a strand of his hair.
and then
Eat
even
it.
then Deku has to still learn how to use it without breaking all of his limbs. Like
Which he still
and
does.
also on the topic of like a superhero caste system, that's Endeavor's and Shoto's whole thing is that Endeavor specifically married one woman and had multiple children with her in order to make a person Shoto, the guy with like two colored hair who does like fire and ice powers, to make Shoto
I
uh
understand that, but I'm just surprised that it turned out the way it has. Like, I
I don't know.
feel as though that would, like, given the history of humanity, I feel as though it would turn out that way.
Turn out what way? The way it did?
No, as in like a systemic fucking fascistic or like sort of like royal lineages of just superpowered people.
Well, it's
Yeah,
only
but
started
also,
appearing about like 50 years before the manga starts,
Oh,
I believe.
Yeah,
that's perfect timing for fascism.
okay, yeah,
Well-
okay, Chris. It's a shonen anime. Shut up.
Damn.
Hey,
No,
Attack on
I-
Titan had fascists.
okay, look, I get the
Attack on
Attack on
Titan is a
Titan had
really
fascist
bad
guys.
example.
Wow.
He's probably the worst example.
Okay.
Attack on
Look.
Titan is overrated.
look. I get the whole point of like overthinking it. I too am an overthinker. However,
I
One,
love watching
two-
Bakugo slaughter people with guns.
look, to to basically condense the entirety of human history into a discussion about My Hero Academia and then say that it should be fascist is not only a bit of a simplification of human history, but is also, I think, overthinking it a bit too much.
You're
about
asking
My Hero
too much of
Academia
a
episode.
manga targeted towards teenage boys.
Look, would I
Damn.
like that kind of explanation? Sure. I have a comic book recommendation for you, Chris. It's called Marvel Man by Alan Moore and Neil Gaiman. You
Yeah,
forget the last
fucking-
one.
We don't
Marvel
talk
Man-
about that guy.
Marvel Man is the exact thing you're looking for, actually. It has the exact ending you're looking for. Just go read it.
Isn't this just Homelander?
Not at
He
all.
looks
That is-
exactly the same.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. You're not at all. How about you read it before you make a damn assumption? Fucking
Okay.
great.
Okay.
The boys and
Uh,
its consequences.
You know what,
just-
Kai, I throw the ball to you. It's your fucking movie.
Okay, so to sort of like piggyback on your whole thing of like superhero movies nowadays aren't really about like saving just like the people. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit of a weird kind of reference, but I want you to hear me out. So, literally today, I finished season 5 of Supernatural. I've probably already mentioned on the podcast, shut up, that I'm watching an episode of Supernatural a day for the entire year. I'll probably finish around November. But I just finished season 5. And so basically in the early seasons of Supernatural. Okay, first of all, Supernatural was supposed to end at season 5 and then it got 10 more seasons.
10.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's the
you'd be
longest run.
surprised at what you'd be surprised at how much people fetishize them.
Anyway, basically okay, so I love the early seasons of Supernatural because of the fact that it's about just saving the average person from monsters. It's a creature feature, like, or it's a creature of the
Featuring the creature?
monster of the week. You save like the family from the ghost or whatever, and like that, like, yes, the entirety of it has always had an overarching plot. The first 2 seasons is about killing the demon that killed their mum and then their dad, you know. And then by season 5 it all leads up to this big thing where like Lucifer and Michael the Archangel have to, like, you know, fight it out to end the world. They're basically trying to stop the apocalypse. And like even in those early seasons, even when they're trying to, you know, save the world from like stop the world ending, it still is about like saving everybody, not just, oh, we have to just fight the big bad. I mean, okay, to be fair, a lot of especially Dean's motivations is just that he doesn't want Sam to die, and Sam's motivation is he doesn't want Dean to die, you know. But like once we get past season 5, especially when we get up to season 11 with Amara and the Darkness, like it stops becoming about just saving everybody, and it just becomes, you know, stopping the big bad. Or, like, every season afterwards has, you know, a big bad, and it doesn't really follow anything else. It's just like it just sort of turns into like the current state of like Marvel and DC movies, where it's just we have to just fight fight the big bad. It doesn't really matter about saving your average Joe.
Mm.
And like that's what I like about My Hero. That's what I like about just like the show in general, and also specifically this movie. Because out of the movies, at least the ones that I've seen, because I haven't seen the newer ones, like that's what it's about. It's always been about just saving people, especially Deku. Like that's always been his thing. He's always just wanted to save people and be like All Might. Like I don't know. It's nice to have that in media nowadays. And like, okay. My Hero did at the end sort of turn into, we have to fight the big bad, but like, look, Shigaraki is a
Oh
character.
yeah, I forgot this conversation was about My Hero.
Like I don't know. That's why I have always sort of like, even though like, look, second half of season 4 is just filler. Holy shit. Season 5 is also just mostly filler and it kind of sucks. But like I still like it because like at least it's still got the essence of what superheroes are about, which is just saving your average person.
Just to touch on the filler things, I think that's more of a problem with Shonen Jump as a whole,
Yeah.
rather than the story, because that's why filler exists.
Yeah.
It's literally just a side story that usually doesn't end up even being canon. Um,
I mean, some of the filler
so that
in My Hero did end up being canon.
yeah, like the original like creation of filler content was because Dragon Ball Z, the anime, caught up to the manga. So they had to make shit up on the spot to fill out the week's episode.
That's why there's 2 different versions of Fullmetal Alchemist.
Ah, well, that's a perfect segue because I want to talk about the production of this movie.
Bones!
Bones, and this was not only by Studio Bones, this was by their C studio, which also made Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Well, yeah, Bones. Yeah, they did all of Full Metal. And also Soul Eater.
Which is yeah, exactly. Which is why this movie has so much more of an artistic flair compared to the actual anime. Oh my god. I actually forgot how good this movie looked. And I wish that the anime looked like this.
Like,
Well,
My
be fair,
Hero
they
has a very like specific style. Even for a Bones anime, it doesn't look like any other Bones anime.
Mm,
I watched a few episodes of like fucking like Demon School Iruma-kun, and I thought it was animated by Bones because it is just the My Hero style. But like My Hero is
yeah.
unique in its animation style, even amongst like Bones properties.
But I think another thing is that My Hero was so unique when it first started coming out that it actually became somewhat of a standard.
Yeah.
It is My Hero now seems generic because it was the trendsetter, and people have just forgotten.
well,
That's why
Which is why
Iruma-kun looks like it.
yeah, which is why I was so glad to see the actual production of this really get pumped up to 11, and I forgot how good it looked. So that's another reason that I'm glad that we didn't go to fuck, what was the one we were gonna watch?
Oh, I don't even remember what
Heroes
it's...
Rising.
Heroes
There you go.
Rising, yeah, that one.
Yeah, because compared to World Heroes, Heroes Rising, honk, me 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 me, honk, me 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 me. It's so fucking boring, man. It's like a Demon Slayer movie.
What the fuck?
Hey, I will take any opportunity to shit on that. Anyways,
Wait,
hold on,
okay, do you mean like a Mugen Train, or do you mean the ones that they've been releasing to hype up the new season? Like the
the ones that they've been releasing to hype up the new
yeah,
season.
okay.
Mugen
I'm
Train was
like,
peak.
ain't no way we're shitting on Mugen Train right now.
No,
How
Mugen Train I
dare-
love. That's the exception. But
yeah, I'm not gonna take Mugen Train slander.
I'm sorry, say that again.
I'm not. I will not take Mugen Train slander. Okay, my opinions on Demon Slayer may have changed. Mugen Train and fucking the arc after Mugen Train is when
Entertainment.
Demon Slayer is at its best.
I'm so excited for the movies coming out at the end
I
of the year.
think-
Anyway,
I think one of the best examples. There's two examples that come to mind regarding the actual animation quality. Um, being Studio Bones at its peak, and it just reminded me of the talent behind Soul Eater for a lot of it.
Soul
Was
Eater!
yeah, Soul Eater
Soul Eater
mention.
mention!
What the fuck
In
is a bad anime?
2025!
It's so peak. Go watch Soul Eater.
Except for the
Anyways,
ending.
hey,
Manga's ending was better anyway.
yeah, just go watch. Just go read the manga. Anyways, stop at like episode 18. After that, go read the manga.
18.
Was it 18? I'm forgetting now.
There's like 50 episodes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind. Hey, numbers are hard. All right, I work in a daycare, not a high school.
You're...
I can only count up to 20. Leave me alone. Why do you think I got hired?
Anyway,
Um,
yes.
First off, Rhodey. Oh yeah, this is the first like non-main series character mentioned in this
Oh my god,
podcast.
Rhodey. Best
Actually,
character.
Rhodey.
Rhodey as well.
Rhodey, escaping Deku initially. The actual chase scene was really well choreographed and used a lot of very strange dynamic camera angles, which is what Studio Bones is known for.
I love
But you
when
don't
anime
see that
uses
in the
different camera.
anime for whatever reason. They just stopped doing that. And I think
Yeah.
that's because it's become a weekly thing. Sadly.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're having to pump shit out like on a weekly basis.
That is how the anime format works. That's the reason why movies look better, is because they have more time and a larger budget
I
to
think it's
Yeah.
why
put
also
individual
like
scenes.
something like. Okay, I'm bringing up Demon Slayer again. Nobody get mad at me. Demon Slayer is so well animated, and that's like. It is its main, like, selling point is the fact that it's so incredibly well animated, but like. Even. Like, they have all those camera angles, probably because they work the animators to fucking death. But there's also really long gaps between Demon Slayer. There's like My Hero has a much faster turnover rate.
Yeah.
Like most anime has a really quick turnover rate.
Yes. But I think that like the most impressive part is that this is still made by the same studio who does the weekly My Hero episode.
What happens when you
Not
give
even
them
like
time?
I'm not talking just like different teams. This is done by the exact same team. They worked on this shit at the same time.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah. It was really interesting to read about. But yeah, going back to the actual animation quality, that scene, the chase scene initially, and then seeing, God, just thinking back to what Chris said at the very start, before we started recording, Bakugo fucking blowing shit up as hard as he
With
possibly could.
guns.
Basically,
Bakugo is a
Um,
gun.
basically, yeah.
That's why his English voice
like-
actor also voices Genya.
Bakugo killing the Serpentis twins.
Yes.
Peak.
Peak cinema.
Any sort of, if you throw in a fisheye lens and an impact frame, I'm coming.
Oh my god, Bones.
That's it. It's peak.
Bones and their fucking fisheye lens. The Bungo,
It's peak.
the Bungo Stray Dogs team loves their damn fisheye lens. Oh my god.
Absolute cinema.
Whoever animates Bungo Stray Dogs in the Bones department needs to chill.
Also, this was the first time that we got to see Bakugo's supposed like ultimate properly done, like properly given justice.
Woo!
How it's an impact, because it was never actually at full strength. He was always trying to just not blow everyone else up in the nearby vicinity. This time he was going for blood.
It also looks mid in the anime. Like in the main
Yeah,
anime.
true. But that's also because it was done by a different team, season 1. But yeah, no, holy fuck. Beautiful. Just Pardon Scorsese, absolute cinema image here. Uh, Also, just to quickly touch on stakes regarding superheroes, uh, I need to shill Invincible again.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm on my fourth rewatch now, and
Damn.
yeah, no, it is it's big. But I think it addresses the issue of really high stakes by yes, these are really high stakes, but you only see the impacts of the nearby people. Like you're seeing people get completely brutalized, right? But that actually has much more of an impact rather than just being like, oh yeah, people are just vanishing. You know, half the universe is just gone now. Cough, cough, endgame. Fuck, I hate endgame. And you actually get to spend time dealing with the ramifications of those people's deaths. Even if they were just collateral in the incident. So I go watch Invincible, but I also think that that's also something that My Hero does very well as well. It actually incorporates the other people's lives into whatever fight is happening. Especially with this movie, they really wanted to involve much more of the civilians. And yes, majority of people have quirks. They have their own powers and shit. Majority of quirks can't do fucking shit.
Bro, quirks like fucking like there's some that are cool, but imagine you just stuck with like some shitty one, like you're
No,
just
no,
a fucking question mark or
no,
whatever,
no,
like
it's even
the
worse.
speech bubble guy.
One of the members in Deku's class in the first episode is a fucking cabinet. He's cabinet head. He's got a cabinet for a head, bro. That would so. Imagine getting like mold on your head. Like, do you pull open one of the drawers and that's basically like pulling on an exposed nerve ending? Like,
Yeah,
Imagine your
do you have to
brother gets like, cool fire powers and you're just stuck there as cabinet head. I would kill myself. In game,
actually,
in game.
yeah. Like, there are
no, not in game. I just straight up kill myself.
yeah, bro. There's so many. Like, I really do like the quirk system, but there's someone we haven't heard from. Christopher,
What do you want?
Ain't
what
no
was
way you
your
just
opinion
said
on the
bros
movie?
like hang on.
Censor all of that.
Yeah, hang on, I need to take a photo of the timestamp.
I'm sorry, habit. When I'm talking to
Because we
Christopher in a
censored-
serious
censored-
tone, I have to.
I mean, I rate this movie like a 5 out of 10. It's not my favorite. It's not bad.
It's not
decent.
bad. It's not bad. He said it's not bad. That's
Five-
pretty
five
good.
and a
That's a
half.
win! That's a win!
5.5 to be
We're
perfectly
so
no
back.
Okay, Chris, what did you like? Because
I
you
liked
didn't
the
rate it
art.
3. You liked the art?
I liked the art. The motivations were alright. I found myself quite bored with it though. The most fun was like, oh yeah, this guy should have probably died. Like absolutely. Like so many people should have died. Like that one kid that got pushed off a cliff onto like and was like saved by the other guy with like the ice powers. Yeah, he should have died. Broken neck. Immediately dead. You know. Also Bakugo slaughtering like wholesale probably a couple dozen people with guns. Definitely terrorists and definitely justified, but like they're dead. They had blood splatters on the ground. Like, come on, they're
Yeah,
dead.
I do think it's weird that that they
They're
majority
all
of the
just
time
fucking dead.
there is no persecution.
Also, like the main villain's powers, like if they're constantly active and it's just kinetic force, what's the limit? And if it's to everything, he should just be dead because it would create like an infinite loop of him breathing or having oxygen particles contact his skin and then like reflecting that and then he basically becomes like a radioactive individual but kinetic. So he should just either be exploding or a nuclear bomb. The man.
Coughing baby versus.
Yeah, except he beats the sun.
Power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
The power of
Hey,
the
that's
sun
enough
is
Spider-Man
this guy.
references.
Give
We've
me
already hit
picture
our
of
quota.
Spider-Man!
Look, I reference
Fucking
in
tentacle? Sorry,
to
I was
return.
I was
Sorry,
looking
go
at
ahead.
the. No, sorry, that's my bad.
Oh
I
my
was
god.
looking at I was looking at the pro hero list because because I was vaguely kind of interested, and fucking Tentacle is the number 9 hero by the end of the story. That this guy, hold on, putting
Yeah,
it in
wait,
chat.
who?
Fucking Tentacle he's the number 9 hero,
Wait,
but
really? Why?
fucking he beats out Tenya. He beats out Grand Orca. He beats out. Okay,
Listen,
he
listen.
doesn't beat.
His eyeballs are freaky.
He does not beat my goat Wash though, who is a washing machine.
Wash
I-
my goat.
Hey,
Look, all
I
I'm
mean, it
saying-
doesn't need to be based on strength. It can be based on like utility, I guess.
I mean, yeah, okay,
Unless
so
it is
basically the
just
way that
strength.
the hero ranking works is people literally just like I think people just like vote for who they like the most. So like
yeah, no,
bro just is
it's a
really
popularity
likable.
contest.
Yeah, bro is just really likable, I guess. I don't know.
I
People
think
like
people
the
are just a little bit freaky. Okay.
Yeah, honestly, I guess people like the quiet stoic type cuz that's what he is.
Actually, you know, I was gonna say he looks fucking horrific and terrifying. However, at
Have
the
you
same
seen
time,
him without his mask on?
okay, I was gonna mention the fact that there are people in this world who have cabinets for heads, but you know,
Hey, I can one up you on that one. All right.
What,
You know
do you
that-
have
you-
like a drawer for a head, Cameron?
No, no, no. You know
Sorry,
that-
I
you
haven't
know-
seen you in a while, pal. I didn't know you got that work done.
Yeah, you know the TikTok audio of what the fuck is a 1x1 Lego piece? This man, I would kill myself if I was this man. It's over. It's so Jova. Like that would be it for me. I'd actually like just.
Bro,
I would try like.
imagine you turn the corner at night and you see that.
That's a fucking skinwalker right there. That's out of some analog horror shit.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna lie. This universe should be like way more fucked up.
it probably
Not
is.
gonna
They
lie.
don't-
It
No,
is.
but you gotta
You actually get to see a lot more fucked up shit in the series that was supposed to be the main series.
Vigilantes.
My Heroes Vigilantes.
Vigilantes is out, baby.
Is it?
It's on Crunchyroll right now.
Oh yeah. I'm been so
I don't know.
hyped.
I think
Guys,
think-
we're about
I
to
think
see a nerd out here.
see.
And Warframe versus Warhammer isn't okay. All right, Chris.
Oh no, it absolutely is. I'm
Anyway,
just saying that we're about
anyway,
to see another one.
Anyway, back on topic. I did sort of wanna talk about the villains like motivations for a second, because
Fair enough.
like okay, here's the thing. The Quirk Doomsday Theory. I don't know. I feel like in this universe, it is a very viable option. They keep, especially in the later seasons, they keep constantly like talking about how like each generation is getting stronger. The Quirk Doomsday Theory, I think it's it's something that is very believable in this universe. And I mean, okay, look, all the villains, there are like 3 different villains in the My Hero universe who have the exact same goal of getting rid of all the people with quirks. There's like, and it's also the exact same motivation as the bad guy, as the main villain in fucking Bungo Stray Dogs. But anyway, like, I wish that they would stop reusing it, but it is like actually a thing that I could absolutely believe in if I was in that universe.
I kind of agree. I think that it's one of those theories where like part of it is I think it to probably give more credit than it's deserved. I think it's kind of a bit. Sorry, I saw my goat wash. I think it is kind of a bit sort of like a good representation of conspiracy theories, where a lot of conspiracy theories that really get people are stuff that has a kernel of truth in it. Not saying I believe in conspiracy theories, but like
Paper thin.
um but I think that okay, for an example of like a conspiracy theory that has like a kernel of truth in it, like fucking what's one that's tame and won't get us demonetized? Okay, capitalism, right? There are
Okay.
people who in this world do own a lot of money, and they do ultimately position a lot of the decisions that governments make because of said money using donations. Now, a conspiracy theorist looks at that and they ascribe way more detail and doomsaying than just the simple answer of guy have lots of money, they pay them. They instead say that like, oh, it's a satanic cabal, and also like they're actually a bunch of aliens from Mars, and
We're all
it's actually going to
lizards.
doom us all. That yeah, they're lizards. See, that's anti-Semitic as well.
Wait, really?
The liz, well, yeah, because if you look at a lot of the things that people say about like the lizard theory, it's basically just blood libel. It says that it's basically like a bunch of lizards own the government and also run all the banks and eat children and engage in blood libel, and eventually you go down the route where you're basically just essentially rebranding anti-Semitic conspiracy theories to instead be lizards,
Huh.
which most anti-Semites would probably agree with.
Huh.
So, yeah, the more you know. Um,
The more you know.
the more you know, but like that's what I mean. And the quirk doomsday theory seems something like that. Like people look at wildfires and they and in the words of Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a sitting senator, Jewish space lasers apparently. They look at the ever-growing nature of quirks and um, they look at the ever-growing nature of quirks and they think, oh no, someone's going to turn into a manticore and kill us all, which I think was kind of a creative way of making a cult basis for it. But the issue is that it kind of falls apart when you realize that, like, whilst yes, some quirks like Shigaraki's are uncontrollable, I'd say Shigaraki is one of those people who just has one of those random quirks that is just absolutely doomsday-ish. Um, I don't know. I think that I do agree that like it hasn't been proven. It hasn't been like tested fully, and I think that was interesting. But I can't really word my thoughts on it properly. I'm sorry. I just think that ultimately there are solutions in universe to that kind of thing rather than killing all the people with quirks.
I mean, yeah. And I mean, also, like, we literally see it with, child abuser McGee, fucking Endeavor. Um, like, it takes 4 tries to get to get a kid who has a combination of both quirks. Like, if you're doing it on purpose, like, it's not just an instant one and done thing. Also, that's the other reason why I fucking hate Endeavor's whole, like, fucking quote unquote redemption arc, because he literally, like, Ray only wanted 2 children. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Um, she did not want those other
Yeah.
two, and that is why I fucking hate Endeavor apologists, because they fucking. Anyway,
Yeah, his redemption arc. Nah,
bro does not
Nah.
deserve
get
to
out
be
the
fucking
kitchen.
redeemed. Bro was not.
Get out the kitchen.
I could go on a rant for God knows how fucking long about his redemption arc.
Okay, no, I finally remembered the point I was trying to make about Shigaraki. The whole point of Shigaraki is that there was no one there to help him when it came to getting his quirk. Like he went through something that was so traumatic it inevitably made him the like the be all end all of villains. He was manipulated by people around him. And what happened to Shigaraki was pretty uniquely terrible. I mean, I remember when the manga came out and we found out about like Shigaraki's past, about how he fucking evaporated his dog, and how he like killed his entire family accidentally because he kept placing he was a panicked child, and he ended up he just ended up destroying his entire family. but there was no support structure for him in there. So where a lot of conspiracy theories fail is they fail to account for like society not being terrible. And in essence, the I liked how the villains in this film sort of made the problem worse by having like a by trying to kill every single non kill every single quirk haver to save the world. I don't know. I think that that lack of scale and that lack of understanding of societal issues I thought was really well communicated in this film, which is shocking because it's My Hero Academia.
I don't know.
Sorry.
No villain in My Hero can top All for One or Shigaraki in terms of like, and it's because we've been with them for 7 seasons, or some like yeah 7 seasons, and a whole manga, but like I don't even fucking remember his name. But like the villain in this movie was like, for someone who we've never seen before, like he was so well written for a spin-off. And the thing is that these movies apparently are not canon.
That makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense, especially for Heroes Rising. But
Well, I feel like if they made these movies canon, it's sort of like it does sort of mess with the continuity a bit because like as Chris pointed out, they're all quite young. It's like quickly the quickly the Christian Nazis are gonna kill everybody. We need to deploy the high schoolers.
Go forth, my child soldiers!
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Um like at least with the League of Villains, as far as when I kept up with the story, it kinda makes sense. It's like it's like, oh yeah, hey, we're the League of Villains and we wanna fuck with All Might and Midoriya specifically. Like that kinda makes sense why they're fighting them, and then when they're doing hero work, it's less being directed at them and it's more like, hey, here's some normal goings on in Japan, here's Overhaul, he's gonna blow you up. Um but like
oh, the
I
Overhaul arc was so good.
but I think this film, as much as I really enjoyed it, it's like, yeah, this isn't canon. This is the furthest from canon you can go.
Look, some of the most fan favorite Dragon Ball Z characters are just not. They just don't exist in the canon,
That's
despite
fair.
appearing so many times
I did
in
quite
different
like
movies.
Rhodey. And my headcanon is that once Midoriya becomes a teacher, he occasionally goes there every year to hang out with Rhodey. That's
I
my
love
headcanon.
Rhodey.
Rhodey was surprisingly well written for
For a
a
random
character with,
character we will never see again.
yeah, surprisingly well written. I was
Hmm.
I was shocked by that, I'm not gonna lie. Like the fact that he had a decent motivation of simply just wanting to protect his family. I liked the bit with his dad being him thinking that his dad was like a member of Humorize and then holding that against him. I thought that was an interesting way of keeping him somewhat, you know, uh, I thought that was a decent way of keeping him somewhat relevant to what the story was actually being told. Also, Chris, here's a picture of Trapezius headgear.
Huh?
He is a villain in the show. What do you? How do I achieve that body? Chris, how do I achieve that body?
Alex,
How
I'm
do I?
gonna turn you into a fucking clam.
I also love that like the only hero that we see who is like actually from Egypt is just a fucking hieroglyph painting.
Oh, okay.
Funniest shit ever.
That is actually going to bring me into one of my main points. Okay, my only complaints with this film. One, why the fuck was there so many people in Egypt? like when they're doing like the opening title sequence where they're showing where all the members of Class 1A are, there's 2 people in Singapore and there's fucking everybody in Egypt, bro.
There's a bunch of them in Paris. There's a bunch in Egypt. There's only Hawks and Tokiyami in the US.
I'm like, what the fuck did Egypt do, man? What the hell did Egypt what the hell did Egypt do to deserve having so many fucking people in Egypt? What is up, Hamish? My dog's speaking. Do you have something to say about the movie? My second complaint. The police cars and buses in the European country were American police cars and American buses. I know this because of Transformers. The cars which are going around in
That is the
same-
most okay.
That is the most Alex statement I have ever heard.
Look, okay, the cars that were going around inside the European country that were police cars were the same car the Barricade transforms to into the first movie.
Are
I
you
know that
fucking
because-
kidding me?
I'm not fucking kidding.
Do you mean
It's
the
the
like
same car.
the Michael Bay, or do you mean like the one from the 80s?
I mean the Michael Bay. It's the
Oh,
same.
that makes
Like,
it even worse.
because it's the thing that he turns into, and then he chased down Sam Witwicky, and then pins him to a car and says, "Are you ladies man 218?
Are you
217?
ladies, bitch?
Man 2187?"
Sorry, did I just die for a moment? I think I entered like my I don't know if it was my internet or my brain disconnected
We
from
need to
reality
do
for a
another
moment.
Transformers drinking game sometime.
Oh god, no, no, Darn.
Cameron, you
there is
missed
a-
out on Rise of the Beast.
Yeah, and look, the last time we did a Transformers drinking game, I literally fell asleep halfway through the movie, woke up, looked at my screen, and then went back to sleep.
That
Anyway,
is true. You did do that.
There is a video of this.
anyway,
But yes, and the buses were the yellow kind of bus with the stop sign that pulls off at the end, and they don't have that in Europe. They
wait,
have
so it
very
was like
different
a like a school bus?
It was an American school bus that they got on to go across state lines. They don't have that kind of bus in Europe. They have the more rectangular form of bus.
Yeah.
That one that they had the bus that had. I'm so autistic. Those ones that they had were the ones that had the bit that pointed out from the front.
Yeah,
Like
I know what
the
you're
full,
talking
like,
about.
The yellow piss bus, and the police cars were black and white. Where I think the police cars in Europe have like various different colors, but mainly focus on white. Like
Yeah. Oh, I think a lot of like silver and blue, from memory.
do you want to go
But-
outside, Hamish? That's my dog.
Hey, puppy.
Shall we?
I
I'm gonna take my dogs out for a wee. I'll be back. I'm still listening.
Quick, say the cookies. End the episode now.
no,
Go,
no,
go,
no.
go.
There was something I was gonna say, and now I've. Hang on.
Quickly, Chris, what Kaya thinks? Who's all the people that should have died in this movie?
The guy that was like in the car talking about his family problems when he like fell off and like was slip sliding on whoever the fuck was doing the ice shit. Yeah, broken neck. Everyone that Bakugo comes into contact with ever. um, Probably everyone in the initial bomb scene. I'm not sure if they all died. I'm pretty sure that they mostly died, but if they are somehow alive, I'm surprised.
The whole point was that they
Um,
died.
You know how Bakugo blows up that tower and then kills, well, doesn't kill those two, but they should have died. Like, okay, if they're buried under rubble, there's no way that you can maneuver your hand up to your neck with a glass file that is inevitably shattered inside of you and then, like,
This-
stab your neck with it.
There's no
Come
way
on,
that
bro.
jet fuel melt steel beams. Everyone in those towers should be dead. Bakugo killed them.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
for real.
God.
Did 9/11.
Literally anything Bakugo comes... You know, one thing that I haven't, like, come up with is why he doesn't just, like, collect his sweat and then just have a machine gun and then refill all the bullets with, like, that.
He
Actually,
does.
it's funny-
Infinite bullets.
He
It's
does.
funny you mentioned that. Those grenades that he throwed are filled with his sweat.
I know, but they're not fragmentation grenades because they don't have any pineapple checkering on them. And also, he could just like get some like steel poles, shove them into his grenade things, and then he's got like a literal fucking howitzer arm. Use that, jackass.
It's because
Fucking
heroes
idiot.
heroes aren't actually allowed to kill villains.
Oh, fuck off.
No, they actually
Bakugo
aren't allowed
does.
to.
He kills people.
He does,
There's
but they're not supposed to, so he can't make his like gauntlets actually be able to kill people.
just like bring some rebar from a construction site.
I would
Just like
to
in a random area, just like
Chris, you're
fucking
forgetting
take
that
some
this is a
rebar.
superhuman society. Why are we bringing realism into this? This is like trying to
Because
bring
this is
realism
how you
into the
use your
fucking
powers
X-Men.
effectively.
So it's like trying to bring realism into the X-Men. Like, what are we doing here?
Oh yeah, no kill rule. Kills thousands. Kills hundreds even.
Now I've completely lost my train of thought.
Also, I
My
was
bad.
asked by Alex, like, name the deaths of, like, all the people that should have
no,
died.
it is my fault. I also think it would be funny if like Bakugo was talking to someone around them and like, "Hey Bakugo, why have you rebranded yourself as a construction type superhero?" And then he's just loading rebar into his grenade got arms like no reason.
Oh, actually, also the main villain, because his powers just literally make him into, like, a nuclear bomb, no matter how you justify it. Unless it's like to a certain degree, because if it's automatically reflecting everything, him breathing should just blow him the fuck up. And if it's like fucking oxygen particles contacting his skin, well, that gets reflected, so he just becomes naturally radioactive.
I will say one of my only actual genuine complaints about the film was that I felt like the organization that hates quirks shouldn't have so many quirk havers in them. I get it's because they have like a self-hatred thing, but they didn't come through with all of them.
Oh,
I
that's
think it would have been
kinky.
I think it would have been
Huh?
cooler if
Huh?
I think it would have been cooler if the organization that had like that had the whole thing against quirks instead focused on like how there's a lot of organizations built around there's a lot of organizations built around what is it, making technology that helps with quirks like Eraserhead's bandages and whatnot. I think they should have used a lot more of stuff like that, like technological stuff. And I also did like the guys who just had guns. I thought that was funny, like objectively. Like, oh yeah, it's
Yeah, the fact
Bakugo.
that guns are still made in this world is really funny to me.
I mean, it's kind of funny that none of them had like a gun head. Yo, imagine giving birth to a child after them being in your room for 9 months, and the first thing to come out is a Glock 17 with with a pair of eyes on the end.
As funny as that is, majority of works don't manifest that way.
Well,
Sadly.
no. Quirks that are physical, like Ojiro's, do.
Yeah, they manifest at birth. Otherwise, that means they went through 3 to 5 years of their life being normal fucking human beings, and they woke up one day
And they just woke up as a Glock.
No, then they woke up one day and they had a cabinet for a head.
One by one Lego piece.
I love how the Lego piece doesn't even have eyes, or a mouth, or a nose, or any facial features.
He looks like a Minecraft penis.
Look at the top of his head.
Bro, he's got his Minecraft foreskin, bro.
Ew.
The,
You
the
know that
person,
he's on
the
the
person who
search
was
for the
born as a
foreskin.
Glock grows up into this, by the way.
Well, there is actually a one of the pro.
Oh
One
no,
of the
it's Junzo Inoue.
Bro, does he just keep on getting more barrels as he gets older?
Yeah. Every birthday, it's a new one.
Oh my god.
Sorry,
No,
Alex,
but
I didn't mean to interrupt you.
There is actually a pro hero called Gunhead.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking
he's-
what?
wait.
He doesn't have a gun for a head. He just has
No!
really, really good aim. Oh wait, no,
That's
no,
messed
no,
up.
it's not.
Oh, they are. No, those are guns. Oh, him!
No, those aren't guns. On like,
No,
well, like they're
his
not.
quirk,
It's not his
his-
head.
Yeah, it's his arms. His quirk is Gunhead's quirk gives him gun-like organs in his arms, which can shoot claw-like bullets made of keterin.
Gun like organs. Are you telling me this
Imagine-
guy has like a digestive system which is loading a barrel of food and then fucking launching it?
It's not even the best part, Chris. This person's a black hole.
Okay, imagine that, like, you know, you and your partner, you both look, relatively normal. You go through 9 months of pregnancy, and a fucking killer whale comes out.
I'm more concerned about how they gave
I'd be
birth.
asking my
Bro,
partner
how
what the fuck is
did they
happening.
how the fuck did they give birth to a black hole? A black hole.
God, I thought
Get him out of
that
there.
Okay,
pie
no,
was
okay,
his tongue
no,
for a
no,
moment.
they're not. Actually,
No, okay, I looked it up. I got it wrong. Ahem. Anand's let's see. Um black hole allows the user to create small black holes through their fingers. The black holes suck in and disintegrate any matter at the atomic level, as well as certain
Okay.
forms of energy such as light. In combat, Anand can use his ability to prevent enemies from escaping our range by sucking them towards herself.
yeah, except for the fact that, like,
So Earth is
in
dead
season
immediately.
in season 1, when the League of Villains first attacks them, and Kurogiri, like, opens a void portal, so, like, she starts, like, so the black hole, like, starts, like, affecting her. There's nothing in the suit. It's just empty.
Yeah, she's basically a disembodied consciousness.
Man, I fucking hate these quirks, man. What the fuck?
Man,
Imagine
I'm
you
just
give
saying-
birth and Minetta pops out, like,
Oh, I'd
oh.
be. Is it too late for an abortion? Can we just like smack the baby on the table for a little bit?
Okay. This isn't really relevant to the movie, but, like, how the fuck has Minetta not been, like, arrested, kicked out? Like, okay,
Yeah,
look,
they
look,
try and fucking redeem him, which is just
no,
why.
because, like Eraserhead is like, oh yeah, I'm gonna expel one of you. Oh, and, like, it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna expel Midoriya because he doesn't know how to use his quirk, and yet we're going to keep the guy who, like, actively, like, pervs on the women in the class. And also, what Midnight should not be around children. She should not be allowed within 500 meters of children. She
Yeah.
actively flirts with children.
Yeah.
Drake.
I hear you like them
Anyways,
young.
let's move on to cookies because I actually have one prepared today.
Now, hold on. One more thing. There is a villain in this series who gets defeated pretty quickly, whose name is Shame, and he gains extra power from feeling shame, and so he walks around as a nudist.
Yeah, I do remember that guy.
I forgot about that. What?
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Did I mentally? Have I mentally blocked that? Fucking,
Probably.
huh? When was this?
Yeah,
This was right before the Hood Nomu attacked Endeavor when Endeavor was meeting with Hawks for the first time.
Oh my god, this
Yes,
fucking
I
this
do
fucking guy.
remember him.
See, I remember watching the YouTube videos explaining every manga chapter when the manga was coming out. How the fuck is Minoru? Sorry, my bad. I need to keep my voice down. How the fuck is Minoru the number 108th hero by the end of the series? Who the fuck loves this little shit? Kill him now.
Kill him.
Kill him,
Hammers.
please.
Hammers.
Get Lady Nagant on that shit. Pull a fucking JFK.
Is Lady Nagant not dead?
No, she's not.
Oh, she does survive.
Is
Oh,
that
Oh,
the
sorry, that's
sniper
spoilers.
lady?
Oh wait,
Yeah, this is the
I don't really care for spoilers.
elbow sniper lady.
Is Lady Nagant the sniper lady that
Yes.
doesn't use Emo's Nagant?
Yes, Christopher. Because the guns are in her fucking elbows.
Bro, that's crazy.
Anyway,
That's
on
not
to
I
how
will
Cookie
say,
Cameron.
I have seen this movie. I watched this movie several times in both like English and Japanese, so I didn't fully pay attention to it this watch. So like, you know,
Mm.
I
I'm
have
so
watched it several times.
I'm so
I'm trying to
sad that
platinum
my
God of
goat.
War. Okay, I'm busy.
I'm so sad that my goat Wash was not in this film. Wash would have absolutely washed the main villains. Okay, my goat Wash. My goat, the washing machine. He would have spun them right around.
Like a
Wash,
record?
Wash has.
Would have washed away their sins. Washes Jesus. It washes away our sins.
The fact that Wash is the fucking number 8 hero.
Everyone loves Wash.
This motherfucker
in like
beats out Tentacle.
in like season 6 or whatever, when like society like loses faith in its heroes.
Wash is still on top.
What? No, because all Wash says is wash, and so when like someone like yells at them or whatever because they're a hero and everyone suddenly hates heroes, they just go wash.
Look, the fact that Wash beats out a motherfucker named Sun Eater is insane.
Oh my
Wait,
god,
Wash-
bro,
Wash,
Tamaki
ahead.
Yamajiki is peak.
Yeah,
Look,
no, I
all I'm-
love
Sun Eater peak.
all I'm saying is Bakugo,
Todoroki.
Uraka and Froppy and Red Riot don't fucking beat Wash by the end of the season, okay? Wash maintains his spot.
The only person. There are only 7 people who beat Wash by the end of the series.
Hawk's best genist endeavor, Mirko. Oh, sorry, I activated Cameron. Fuck.
Yeah, Cameron, settle down. I can hear the barking from here.
Woof. Sorry, I have copious amounts of
the lady,
I have copious amounts of Mirko images on my computer.
Huh.
the lady, the lady who fucking turns into a dragon is less popular and less powerful than Wash.
I
okay?
love Ryukyu.
Where's Cement rank?
He isn't ranked.
Irrelevant.
He's not a pro hero.
He is the best hero.
He doesn't go pro.
Wait, you like Cementos?
Yes.
Your go to Cementos?
Yes, my cookie goes to Cementos.
Cementos isn't even in this movie.
He is actually.
Oh, is he?
He is actually in the film. Yeah, he's
Well,
in
yeah,
the
that shows
background.
how much I paid attention this time round.
Chris paid more attention than you to the My Hero.
I've watched it several times, okay? I'm
was
planning
like-
God of War, I'm busy!
I was listening to it in the background as well as flipping to it, so...
Mirko, my beloved.
Oh my god. Alright.
Oh my
before
fucking
By the
you
way,
forget-
the reason I actually like Cementos is because his abilities are pretty much exclusively for the creation, and rather than offense, of like a stable area that people can live in. It's not going to be a nice area, but people could live there.
What cookie would you give Cementos?
I'd
Don't
give
say,
him...
don't say cement cookie.
I was about to say.
I'm not. I would have said that, but I knew that was getting old. So no, I'm just casual like chocolate chip. It's a good cookie. It's a good cookie for a good guy.
That's actually
Like come
that's
on.
really good. Yeah.
Chris actually
Well-
gave an actual cookie.
Holy fuck.
Holy shit.
I thought we weren't gonna get here till we got Conan the Barbarian.
Anyway,
Okay, listen. Cement is a good material. It's also biodegradable, but it's long lasting enough that you can use it for 20 years or something.
Woof. Sorry.
Sorry,
Cameron,
what was that in reaction to?
what is your cookie
you.
and why are you giving it to
What the
Mirko?
f-
Okay.
Okay, Mirko is
Okay.
alright.
No,
Marco is
it's not going to Mirko this time because Mirko was in this movie for one frame and that was it. Which actually I'm not gonna make that joke. Anyways, I'm gonna give my cookie to Fat Gum.
Fat Gum!
I love Fat
Fat
Gum,
Gum, my goat.
and now before you come at me, this is a real cookie.
Mm-hmm.
All
You better
right,
send photo evidence.
I'm sending a fucking photo. This shit is 102 feet wide.
Huh? What
That's
the
a big
fuck?
cookie.
That's a cookie. That is about a third of a football field.
How the hell?
10
Look,
Where
seconds.
was
you
this
think-
made?
Oh
It's gotta be America. Why are we even asking?
yeah, of course it was fucking America.
Oh, actually, one question that I have for you guys. Cementos versus Mirko in a competitive slapping competition. Who wins?
Mirko wins every day.
Cementos.
Oh, come on. Look at the size of Cementos'
Okay,
hand.
no.
No,
Look at the size of
no. We're
no,
not
no.
getting
Look
into
at this.
cookies.
No. Look at the size of Mirko's hand. I'm not letting my goat die on this hill.
Mirko's hands are tiny.
Look,
Yeah,
Cameron,
fucking look at the
we all
claw,
know
bitch.
we all know that you're not looking at Mirko's hands.
Look at the claw.
Okay, fair enough, but you didn't
Yeah,
post
get
that
fucked.
beforehand. Actually,
Anyway,
Anyway,
Alex.
don't make me air horn you.
cookie.
I'm gonna give Midoriya
This is
my
the world's
cookie.
largest cookie.
I'm gonna give Midoriya my cookie, and
oh.
What is wrong with picking Midoriya?
okay, look, I'm
Fucking
gonna keep it.
Midori.
I'm gonna keep it a buck. I think that Midoriya isn't the best written dialogue wise. I think that yes, he can be a bit cringy, but I also think that our society currently today condemns sincerity, and brother is just really sincere about helping people. Does it come off a bit cringy? Yes. However, I appreciate the fact that he is a protagonist who believes in genuinely fucking good things about, like, wanting to save people, giving it his all, and always wanting to constantly keep going, keep pushing, um, as a way of succeeding. He wants to help people. He doesn't do it for himself. He does it because he remembers how much All Might inspired him, and he wants to do that for other people as well.
And he
He
does
wants
it better than Tanjiro.
That is one thing I wanted to say. One thing I've had an issue with Tanjiro with, not as much as other people on the internet, it seems. Fucking other people hate Tanjiro. I'm indifferent.
I like
Is that-
Tanjiro.
I like him as well, but also I think I don't have any like incredibly strong feelings anymore about him. I've watched the anime. I think they squandered a lot of the potential, but I don't hate him. Some people fucking hate him, bro. That's weird. You guys should get checked. But like, one thing I like about Midoriya is that the show and manga does not stray away from the toll that doing this stuff does on him. Like, he has permanent scars from his fights with the League of Villains, more like the League of Droopy Fuckers. And permanent scars from his early use of using his power. He constantly has to try harder, and it sometimes feels as if, compared to a lot of his classmates, he's not the most physically powerful person, right? But, it doesn't stop him. He keeps going. And on the ending for Midoriya, I haven't caught up with the manga nor the anime because, again, 7 years sober. But at the same time, I don't mind him becoming a teacher. Because I saw someone mention that it kind of makes sense that Midoriya wouldn't necessarily become the world's number one hero because the hero industrial complex in this series is kind of what creates someone like Tomura, and then also allows for All for One to keep going in the shadows. Instead, Midoriya then decides he's going to become a teacher to inspire the next generation of heroes to become better. And as anticlimactic as it is in a superhero manga for the superhero to not end up being a superhero, I do think it's a decent change of pace and kind of puts more of like a genuine love for the role of actually teaching, which I think is something that a lot of media doesn't do. Either teachers are characters usually in media who are meant to die or are meant to be abusive figures in children's media. Like there's a whole thing of like, oh, Snape was evil in a lot of people's eyes because his whole role was just to abuse kids, and Gandalf is a good teacher because he gets killed at the end.
You
I
mean
like it
Dumbledore?
how I mean, oh, yeah, fuck. What's the difference?
Yeah, like at least
So
at least Deku didn't become a wizard cop.
yeah, like Deku decides that his role in society is to actually benefit those who is to benefit those and to teach those about what it means to actually be a hero and to make sure to inspire the next generation to keep going. And I think that's kind of neat. You know, again, I haven't read the whole manga, so maybe I would be disappointed if I read it all, but I don't mind. And I think he deserves a snickerdoodle because the man loves the United States of Smash. It just it seems like a very simple cookie that's vaguely American that he'd probably like. And yeah, he gets my snickerdoodle cookie. That was probably too much of an explanation for a cookie. Kaya.
Um, I'm giving my cookie to the two like psychotic twins with the razor blades for arms. Um,
Oh yeah, the ones that Bakugo fucking obliterated.
yeah.
Love them to death.
I'm giving them shortbread cookies with razors in them.
Razors?
Yeah, I feel like they'd like them. They'd be crunchy. It's like how like some animals will like eat rocks to help with digestion. Yeah, they eat razor blades to help with digestion.
That's not the same. But I see the logic.
No, I think it'd be the same for them. Like being real, I think I think that'd be the same for them. I feel like if they ate a knife, they'd actually, get better. I feel in my heart of hearts. Maybe they should eat knives.
Anyway,
Well,
Wheel.
Wheel?
I suppose we
Gambling.
spin that.
Wheel? Wheel?
Let's go gambling.
Get
Alright.
Wheel!
What do we think we'll get?
Sorry, I zoned out entirely and you said wheel and I was like moth to a flame.
Okay, so Chris wants Conan.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, let me calculate Chris's chances of getting Conan this week.
It hasn't changed in like 30 episodes. I reckon Chris wants something else this episode. Am I right, Chris?
Alex, you will be buried in a very shallow grave.
I'm going to pick the one right next to Conan and say Blade.
Oh,
You're
I
an
want Blade
asshole.
too. Hey, Chris, you want Blade as well.
Isn't Blade on Chris's list?
I want Conan
No, it's on mine.
Oh.
more than Blade could ever want me.
Alex, what do you want?
What do you want, Cameron?
What do you want, big man?
Cameron, what do you want?
I want Godzilla minus
you
one.
bastard.
Ooh.
Because
That's
I was
not
gonna say
bad,
Blade,
really.
but because Kaya's already said Blade, I'm like shit. Yeah, Godzilla minus one.
I took your
Not
pick.
a bad choice.
I'm in a mood for a kaiju movie.
You know what?
Also,
Same.
Chris, you have a 3.8% chance.
Alex, what do you want?
Every episode.
What do I want?
Closer
I
come.
kind of don't want The Hobbit because I'm not ready for the sheer amount of discussion and arguments Cameron and I are going to have in that episode.
Hey, I liked your Lord of the Rings review. I am Gandalf.
I do not get it.
There's no way that you actually... Where's all the rings? Where's all the rings?
You went past two of them.
You went past.
No. It was not. It was no. It was keep going. It was not the Return of the King.
Or Two Towers.
It was Fellowship of the Ring.
Why do you have
When
that
did I watch Lord of the-
memorized?
There it is.
I misspelled Gandalf. Fuck.
Yeah, that's why I'm making fun of you.
Well, shit. Okay.
Alex, what do you want?
The Green Knight.
Valid.
Ooh.
Not a
I-
bad choice.
I
Very
I
valid.
kind of also want What We Do in the Shadows. I just want something with vampires.
Hey, you picked Blade. Yeah, no takesy backsies.
I want Blade or What We Do in the Shadows. I just want vampires.
Pick one.
Shut. No.
Spinning the wheel.
Oh, I want vampires. That should go on a shirt.
Well.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh.
fuck you.
Okay.
Oh,
Why did that generate that reaction,
This is
Cameron?
gonna be... Oh, because I... This was a long time... This was a conversation that had a long time coming.
When was our Hunger Games episode?
Episode
Yeah.
like 19.
What the hell is this?
It's Battle Royale.
That strikes a spear directly into my heart, Christopher.
Chris, you know what this is?
Chris, it's
This
the
I don't.
creator, it's the thing that invented the Battle Royale genre.
Look, I'm gonna be real. The real thing this is our second most popular episode. Thank you all for
Let's go!
thank you all for listening to the podcast. I hope you enjoyed
Whoa.
My Hero Academia. More like My Hero Macadamia.
So many people should have died.
Hey, I got that. Hey.
Rabbit women! Yeah!
Nice,
Rah.
nice joke,
Rabbit
Alex.
women. I'm a rabbit for women.
Okay, we're ending it there. Goodbye.